Hey, happy people of the stats world. This is Mr. Wilcox coming to you again from my kitchen table. So, last time we talked about just describing a distribution of a sample proportion. Today, we're going to find probabilities because, just like last time, we discussed that it could be normal. And if something is normal, we can use z scores to find probabilities. So, because we have that test to see if a sample proportion is actually approximately normal. Because it's approximately normal, we can find a z-score. If we can find a z-score, we can use the z-table to find probability. So to find z-scores for our proportion mean, we're going to take our sample proportion minus our expected value for our sample proportion over our standard deviation for our sample proportion. So I'm going to pause here so you can write this in your notebook, write it down, and when you're ready, hit play again. All right, we're going to do one example. Our example is here. I'm going to pause again here for a second so you can write it in your notebook. So pause the video when you're done writing down, hit play. So our example says, according to the National Health Center for Health Statistics, 15% of all Americans have a hearing problem. In a random sample of 120 Americans, what is the probability that at most 12% have hearing trouble? So since we're talking about all Americans here, and that population is over 300 million, we can easily assume that if we take our 15% times our 300 million, will be way over 10. So we know that this is approximately normal. So we want to find the probability that it's at most 12%. Remember, at most means less than or equal to 12%. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to find a z-score. So our z-score, remember, we just learned was our p-hat minus our expected value for p-hat over standard deviation for p-hat. So to get our z-score, we need to figure these things out. So our p-hat that we're given, we want to know if it's at most 12%. So 12%. For the population, our expected value, they told us, was 15%, so 0.15. And for our standard deviation, remember, we take our expected value times 1 minus our expected value over our sample size, which is 120. And if you find that here, it is 0.0326. So to find our z-score, we're going to plug those things in. So we're going to take 0.12 minus 0.15 and divide it by 0.0326. And if we do that, we get a z-score of negative 0.92. So since we're looking for a probability that our p-hat is less than or equal to 0.12, we go to our z-table, and since we're looking at less than, we go to negative 0.9 over to 0.02, and that value given is our probability because it's a less than or equal to, and in this case it's 0.1788. So that is our probability. If we had a phrase like at least, when it'd be greater than or equal to, we would then have to take our probability and subtract it from 1, because remember, a z-table tells us the probability that we are less than that z-score, not greater than that z-score. And if we had it in between, we would have to subtract the smaller from the bigger. So that is how you find a z-score for a sample distribution. You're going to use your sample distribution minus your expected value over your standard deviation. I hope you are all happy. I hope you're all healthy. And I hope you all have a great day.